Ever heard the old saying, tag teams don't fall apart in the ring? Well, tonight they did, and the only thing louder than the crowd's roar is the sound of trust breaking. Thank you for listening to another unscripted wrestling story. Before we begin, I need you to subscribe, like and drop your comments. Let's begin. The locker room smelled like sweat and disinfectant. Lockers slammed. Someone laughed loudly down the hall. Caleb sat on the bench, taping his wrists slow, deliberate. Across from him, Damon Pierce leaned against a locker, scrolling through his phone like nothing in the world was wrong. Iron Divide. That was the name on the shirts. Brotherhood. Precision. Trust. Caleb glanced up. Damon didn't look back. Tag order still the same? Caleb asked. Yeah, Damon said. Too fast. I go heat. You clean house. Caleb nodded. That had been the plan for months. But plans only mattered if both men were still telling the same truth. Caleb's phone vibrated. No message. Just a video. He didn't press play at first. He already knew. The angle was bad. Hotel lighting. A mirror in the background. Mara's laugh unmistakable. Too close. Too comfortable. Damon's voice followed, low and amused. Relax, Damon said in the video. He's not here. Caleb locked the screen. His breathing didn't change. His hands didn't shake. 5 years of being the dependable one had taught him control. Damon finally looked up. Their eyes met. For half a second, something passed between them. Then Damon smiled. You good? He asked. Caleb stood. Let's work. The crowd was hot that night. Music hit. Pyro cracked. The lights drowned everything in white. Iron Divide walked out together, shoulders squared, timing perfect. The fans loved symmetry. Loved the illusion that men like this trusted each other. Caleb climbed the steps slower than usual. Damon slapped the turnbuckle, fired up the crowd, leaned through the ropes. You ready? Damon asked. Caleb didn't answer. As the opening notes of the first team's entrance music blared, Caleb stopped, turning sharply to Damon. The crowd roared, oblivious to the tension coiling like a snake between them. You think this is funny? Caleb hissed, voice low, venomous. Damon's grin faltered for the first time. It's not what you think, man, he said, hands slightly raised, but the guilt, or was it fear, didn't reach his eyes. Caleb laughed, sharp and bitter. Not what I think. You slept with Mara. My girlfriend. Right under my nose. And you expect me to just tag in with you? For a moment, the arena sounds fell away. The music, the cheers, the announcer's call, they became white noise behind the thudding of his own heartbeat. Damon opened his mouth, and Caleb anticipated the excuses, the self-justifications. But none came fast enough. The bell rang, signaling the other team's appearance. 4 bodies stormed the ramp, unaware of the storm about to erupt in the ring. Caleb took a step forward, Damon mirroring him, uncertainty flickering in his eyes. You stay out, Caleb muttered under his breath, more to himself than anyone else. Then, before the other team even reached the apron, Caleb lashed out. His shoulder slammed into Damon's chest, knocking him back. Damon stumbled, eyes wide, mouth opening for a protest that never came. Caleb followed him, driving him straight into the announce table. The wood cracked under impact, a sharp, satisfying sound that made the crowd collectively gasp. The other team froze mid-step, confusion rippling across their faces. They hadn't expected violence. Not this early. Not unscripted. And in that moment of hesitation, Caleb stood over Damon, chest heaving, fists clenched, eyes blazing. You think I'm the disposable one? Caleb snarled. You think you can betray me and the company won't notice? Watch this. Damon groaned, trying to push himself up, but Caleb's next strike kept him pinned against the table, crowd lights catching the fury on his face. Somewhere, the announcers stammered over lines they had rehearsed 100 times. Their scripts didn't include this. Their scripts weren't real. Caleb's gaze swept over the empty seats of the arena, imagining every fan witnessing the raw chaos. This was unscripted. Dangerous. Authentic. Every fiber in his body screamed for revenge. And the crowd, even if unaware of the personal stakes, responded. Their cheers and shouts became a pulse, feeding his anger, urging him forward. A producer's voice cracked over the headset somewhere near the ramp, sharp and panicked. Cut. Cut it. Someone stop this, but the command was drowned out by the sound of a fist meeting jaw, wood splintering, and Caleb's roar of defiance. The other team, finally understanding the reality of what was happening, retreated. They moved back, hands raised, unsure whether to interfere or flee. In their confusion, Caleb seized the moment. He turned back to Damon, driving him into the ropes, swinging with precision and pent-up years of betrayal. Damon fell again, stunned and humiliated, his smirk replaced by raw fear. Caleb stepped back, chest heaving, sweat slicking his skin under the arena lights. For a second, the world froze. The other team hesitated at the edge of the ring, unsure if they should intervene. Damon groaned on the floor, gripping the wrecked announce table, eyes locked on Caleb with a mixture of rage, shame, and disbelief. And then, without a word, Caleb climbed onto the apron, raising his arms as if claiming not just the ring, but every year he had been silenced. The crowd's roar swelled, some in shock, some in awe. No one knew exactly what had happened, but they felt its gravity. This wasn't choreography. This was life bleeding into the performance. Backstage, the producer cursed under his breath, headset tangled in panic. They can't. The main event, the cameras, what do we do? But no one moved fast enough. Caleb had already set the precedent. Tonight, nothing would follow the script. Damon finally staggered to his feet, eyes blazing. "You're insane," he spat, voice trembling. "Do you even know what this means?" "For us, for the company." Caleb's reply was a low growl, barely audible over the crowd. "I know exactly what it means. It means the world sees you for what you are." And then the music of the other team faded, the arena lights flickered as if acknowledging the rupture. For the first time in years, Caleb felt something he hadn't in a long time: control. Not scripted control, not the kind the company handed down in safe increments. True control, forged in betrayal, fury, and raw, unfiltered reality. The first part of the chaos closed with Caleb standing in the center of the ring, blood pumping, eyes fixed on Damon. The other team had left, unsure how to react. The crowd was alive, uncertain, cheering, screaming, hungry for what just happened. Caleb didn't celebrate. He didn't smile. He only stared, knowing that the real fight, both in the ring and behind the curtain, was only just beginning. And somewhere in the chaos, the first whispers of what this would cost them all began: cancelled appearances, furious executives, social media uproar. The stakes were high. Careers could end. Titles could change hands. But none of that mattered. Not tonight. Tonight, Caleb had rewritten the rules. Tonight, the world had seen him. Don't forget to subscribe.